Washington, D.C. froze in its tracks. An armed ambush just blocks from the White House, 2 National Guard soldiers shot and critically wounded, and a suspect taken down in a crossfire that erupted at 17th and I Streets. Officials say this was targeted, not random, not accidental, deliberate. The shooter, 29-year-old Rahmanullah Lakanwal, an Afghan national, was subdued by other Guard members deployed under President Trump's aggressive crime and immigration crackdown. And this is where the story turns into an uncomfortable knot of U.S. foreign policy, Afghan war alliances, and America's post-withdrawal promises. According to the Department of Homeland Security, Lakanwal entered the United States in September 2021 under Operation Allies Welcome, a Biden-era program built to rescue Afghans who worked with the U.S. military, intelligence community, or contractors and faced Taliban reprisals. More than 40% of evacuees under this program were directly eligible for special immigrant visas, meaning they served the U.S. effort, often alongside or for CIA-backed units, translators, informants, or support roles in covert counter-terror operations. Officials are not yet confirming whether Lakanwal himself had any CIA-linked role, but his pathway into the U.S. places him inside that broader security ecosystem built for America's wartime partners. His paper trail raises even more political temperature. A senior Trump administration official says Lakanwal applied for asylum in December 2024 and was approved this April after President Trump took office, with no criminal history, no red flags in his file, a clean security screening. Tonight, that approval is at the center of a political wildfire. Just minutes after the attack, USCIS announced an immediate halt to all immigration processing for Afghan nationals pending a security review, a sweeping freeze, unprecedented since the 2021 evacuation. President Trump, speaking from his Florida resort, released a pre-recorded statement calling the attack an act of evil, hatred, and terror. He vowed to re-examine every Afghan admitted during Biden's presidency.
We're not going to put up with these kind of assaults on law and order by people who shouldn't even be in our country. We must now re-examine every single alien who has entered our country from Afghanistan under Biden, and we must take all necessary measures to ensure the removal of any alien from any country who does not belong here or add benefit to our country. If they can't love our country, we don't want them. America will never bend and never yield in the face of terror. And at the same time, we will not be deterred from the mission these service members were so nobly fulfilling. That is why tonight I can announce that I have directed the Department of War to mobilize an additional 500 troops to help protect our capital city.
Vice President J.D. Vance called the shooting proof that the administration's hardline policy was justified, urging deportations of anyone with no right to be in the country. Critics countered instantly, accusing the administration of using a single violent incident to justify blanket crackdowns, including on Afghans who risked their lives for U.S. forces. Officials say the attack unfolded at 2:15 p.m., with 2 West Virginia National Guard soldiers on high-visibility patrol as part of Trump's expanded deployment, now numbering over 2,200 troops across Washington. Assistant Police Chief Jeff Carroll says the shooter rounded a corner and ambushed the soldiers. Gunfire erupted, backup units rushed in, multiple shots were exchanged before troops pinned the suspect down. The 2 wounded soldiers remain in critical condition. The heart of D.C.'s lunch hour crowd became an instant panic zone.
Definitely sounded like a gunfire, and myself and other people ran. And then once we got about halfway down I Street, another round of gunshots were heard. So we ran a little bit further down the street. Then, some people, security guards, started coming out. They were like, it's probably just construction. So I walked back to get my lunch to where I was before, and that's, when I witnessed the scene.
Now intelligence agencies are quietly asking the question no official will say on camera. Was this a one-off radicalization or a deeper failure in vetting America's wartime allies? Afghan evacuees under Operation Allies Welcome included thousands with sensitive U.S. affiliations, from logistics aides to partners of CIA-backed militias. But there's no evidence yet that Lakanwal maintained extremist ties or that the attack was ideologically driven. The FBI says he appeared to have acted alone. But driving the narrative is the attack's connection to a U.S.-backed Afghan program. Defense Secretary Pete Hegseth has now ordered 500 additional Guard troops into Washington, significantly expanding the military footprint in the capital. This deployment was already controversial, with local officials accusing the administration of militarizing the city. And now D.C. is bracing for an even tighter security clamp. Over 190,000 Afghans have resettled in the U.S. under Operation Allies Welcome, renamed Enduring Welcome. Many served alongside U.S. forces. Afghan-American groups now say they fear a wave of suspicion and reprisals. What happened in downtown Washington is both a crime and a geopolitical aftershock, one that connects Kabul's fall, America's evacuation promises, CIA-linked networks, Trump's immigration crackdown, and the fragile line between security and politics. 2 National Guard soldiers are fighting for their lives, a city is on lockdown, and a nation is bracing for the political storm that follows.